That's what it was.
So tell me about Lockout, Sean Finnegan. Does the anniversary multiplayer, which is it's in an Xbox One engine made to feel like Halo 2 but look like Xbox One, does it feel like Halo 2?
It feels exactly like Halo 2. It's kind of weird to wrap your head around initially because you jump into this world and everything. It's the layout of Lockout. It's the feeling of Lockout. All of the proportions are right, but it just looks so new and polished. Like, I remember looking at the ground and being like, I can see all the different dirt and dust and all this stuff. It's just really, from a design and art perspective, it's really great. But I think what's most important is, like, as soon as you start running and as soon as you start shooting, you're like, oh my God, this is Halo 2.
No run button.
You immediately try to sprint, and you're like, oh, that wasn't a thing 10 years ago.
Yeah, it's exactly that same floaty sort of jumpy Halo feeling that we're all used to, like kind of running around bouncing at the same sort of, being able to accurately judge all of your jumps based on your speed because there's like a max speed and then like stop, and that's basically it. It's really great, especially on a map like Lockout where there's a lot of verticality. It was a lot of fun to play.
Yeah, it was great to like run and get that battle rifle right at the beginning. And
then,
just remembering how that feels. Remembering how the sniper rifle feels.
That was the one downside, is like you start out in the match and you have this SMG and you're like, oh my God, the SMG. And
was awful.
Yeah, it has quite a bit of recoil. Like you have to pull down in order to spray it against people. And even if you unload a whole clip, it barely takes off their shield and like gets them down enough.
We got a dual wield back.
Exactly. But it was remarkable to kind of be put into a time machine and sent back 10 years to when I was playing Halo 2. It felt really awesome.
It's your kids.
So something has to be done about your kids.
So one of the new things about the map is they've implemented some changes that can be turned off, but like you can shoot the stalactites and they'll fall and kill a player.
Yeah.
And you can take out the glass in the middle. Do you see that changing the game, and how do you feel about that?
So the glass in the middle changes big because that allows you yet another way to enter that sort of center area.
Yeah, that mid-level.
That's great. The stalactites thing, I knew about that, but it didn't happen in any of the games that I was in. And I only got to play like 2 matches.
Was that probably because A, you were playing with a bunch of random people, and B, it was like muscle memory of playing Lockout, and you're not.
So it's like, why would I ever
your brain to be able to do that?
Yeah.
Well, it was probably a little bit of column A, a little of column B, right? Like I am one of these guys who, when I play first person shooters and when I play Halo, like I'm in it to win it. Like I don't want to be like, oh, let's go test out these new features. I want to see all the different guns. Like, I'm in it to beat that guy and make him feel bad about playing the game.
Wow.
And so it's possible that, like, other people were walking around being like, oh, let's shoot the slide test. But I was not looking at that or even paying attention. And it was only after my 2 matches that I see people on Twitter talking about how that was a really neat little environmental thing. And I was like, oh, that sounds cool. But then again, it just went in one ear and out the other for me.
Yeah, for as like cool and weird throwbacky it was to like jump back into the Halo 2 engine and like just all those just how the game feels. That is still, I am so interested in when we get that game and all of a sudden we're bouncing between a Halo 3 map, a Halo 1 map, a Halo 4 map, a Halo 2 map. Like, you are going to have to adjust that you are legitimately playing a different game every time.
Like, moving from 2 to 1, I'll have to go, oh, right, I already have the best weapon. It's my 3-shot death pistol. I'm going to kill you all. And then jumping back to, say 3, I'll be like, okay, no, don't use the pistol anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm excited to play through all of them. They also had a brief look at 3 running at 1060.
Man,
I was at the conference and saw it at 60. We have a video up. But
sadly, it's because it's off screen and it was 1080p 30 because of the equipment you had.
YouTube doesn't do 60 yet. They're working on it.
IGN does, but that particular video was shot.
Yeah, but it looks beautiful. Like, it reminded me of like seeing Halo 3 for the first time. Obviously, it looks better now.
Yeah,
but they really did a lot of updating with that engine.
We do actually. I will say, for those of you who maybe didn't see it, I put up a thing on Friday. There is 1080p 60 frame per second gameplay footage of Lockout on IGN. That was posted on Friday while you guys were gone. I saw it on the Xbox media site and put it up. So if you just Google, if you just search IGN Master Chief Collection Lockout, it should pop right up.
Okay.
Yeah, and we may even include a link for you because I know the footage you're talking about.
Yeah,
and
I'll embed it in the podcast
That's
post.
sweet.
Although like 99% of our listeners never see that.
It's
post
really
and just get it off
interesting.
iTunes.
because when the first time I saw it, I was like, "Oh my gosh!"
It's jarring,
it feels like,
right?
Yeah, it feels almost too smooth, like very fluid and like crisp.
Yeah.
And that's just not how we're used to seeing
Yeah.
Halo, because Halo traditionally has been
Always
a
30
frames a
frames,
second
every
game.
single
Yeah.
Halo.
But it really does impact the gameplay. Like, you feel like things are much more responsive, that they're moving, like how sometimes when you're playing shooters, even just that millimeter, that's not even a really thing, like a fraction of a second delay via input lag or frame rate refreshing, like that can make a difference. This eliminates all of that when I was on the floor. It felt super responsive, like buttery smooth, and it just allowed me to play the game the way I wanted to play it at the speed that I wanted to play.
Did it
which was
hype
awesome.
you more after sitting down to play? Or are you equally hyped? Are you less hyped? Kind of what did it do for you getting to sit down with it?
As the world's biggest Halo fanboy, I would say my hype level is always at 100%. So I don't know if it increased my hype level, but it
How about
definitely
you,
made
Destin?
me
Yeah.
realize that it's something that I'm going to be playing a lot of.
So going to the panel, hearing the sound redesign, seeing what 3 looks like running at 60, because 3 was a really important game.
Yeah,
for
in
me.
1080p.
That gets me really excited. We already know 2 is going to be amazing.
Yeah.
I just can't wait to play through that series again.
I'm actually on your side. I was more stoked. It was obviously very fun to play Lockout in the Halo 2 like remastered engine,
Sandbox, yeah.
but I was actually more stoked, more hyped, if you want to use that terminology, about the Halo 3 stuff.
Is there a difference between being stoked and being hyped?
One's
both the
more
same.
for surfers, I think. When I first saw that opening scene and the scene that they showed during the Halo 3 panel, or during the Halo panel, which they revealed the first look of Halo 3 running in the
It's the
next
beginning of the
gen.
game.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the beginning of the game when the Arbiter and Master Chief first see each other, and Master Chief
They're like,
kind of
hey, F
gets
you.
up
No,
in his
hey, F
face.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but just the remastered vision of the game and the music and the dialogue that's spoken,
Yeah.
oh my god, it really pumped me up for Halo. I really can't wait to
Destin,
play it.
you touched on the last thing on the Halo topic is you touched on the sounds. They demoed.
Oh, yeah.
This again, you uploaded this clip to IGN as well, and I listened to it over the weekend.
Yeah.
They did a side by side of the Halo 2, Skywalker sound remastered
Yeah.
sound effects versus the originals.
Yeah.
I thought the new ones were all really good, except the overcharged plasma pistol I thought was noticeably suckier compared to the just iconic original. Both of you guys think of all three of you, Marty? Were you at that panel?
I was not at the panel,
You were at
yeah.
somewhere else.
I think I was the only one there.
Yeah,
So
I
what
watched
did you think?
it, was not there.
What did you think of those weapon sounds that they showed off?
I can see where you're coming from with the plasma pistol, and
Yeah.
I almost wonder if it's because they cut that one differently than all the other comparisons. The other comparisons were they showed the original in action,
Yeah.
and then they showed the new one in action. Right, for that one, they did just this weird thing where they cut back and forth between the two.
Yeah.
I think it's fine.
It's fine.
I don't think it's like garbage.
The
Yeah.
old one had that sort of almost metallic hum to it when you
Yeah.
were holding it, getting ready for your noob combo. And then the new one kind of just it sounded very tinny. I just didn't care for that relative to like the remaster sniper rifle
Yeah.
sound is like a boom,
a
just
bassy, like reverberating
and the new
sound.
battle rifle is sweet, and the new sword sound effect I was kind of on because like the old one where it's like
Yeah.
when you pull it out, and the new one's a little more almost futuristic sounding.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was on the plasma pistol. I thought I would give them all high marks except that plasma pistol one.
Yeah, I like them all. Few more than others.
Yeah.
I kind of agree on the sword. That sword, that when it turned on, really like that. It's gonna be weird not grabbing it and getting that. And
I agree.
You can't switch back and forth.
That's true.
It's like you can't play new graphics, old sounds.
Can we do the rest of the podcast where we just do a radio dramatization of a Halo match with the noises? Double kill.
running riot.
Yeah.
I'm going to agree with you. The plasma pistol didn't sound as good as it used to, and also the sword bugged me. That was the only one that straight up was like...
The sword bugged you.
Yeah, because that's, I didn't really use the plasma pistol all that much back in the
Right.
day. Like, I'd charge it up, fire
You're
it
too
off.
good to you don't need a noob combo
just-
like I do.
Battle rifle, shots to the head. That's all I really needed. But the sword I use all the time, like especially even, and
Of course
that was
you did.
consistent between.
You were that guy who got the sword every time.
Hey man, it's part of the game, right?
Part of the game.
Yeah. I played a lot of, sword shotties back in the day, like not in Halo 2, but in Halo 3 when that came out. And the sound is consistent from game to game. And so to change it up when it's become, like you pointed out, kind of an iconic thing, that was the only one where I was like, that doesn't sound as good. But again, it didn't really bug me because all the other ones sound great.
Yeah. Yeah, bugged you, but it's not like terrible, right?
Well, yeah, like as I was going through the video and listening to all of that stuff, I was like, this all sounds great. And then when that one came up, I was like, that doesn't sound great. But then instantly I forgot about it. So not a big deal, I would say.
Well, good stuff, guys. Great job bringing back all that Halo and everything else.
Yeah,
at
thank
PAX.
you.